How the fuck did we get here in Fortnite? Okay, I'm drunk as fuck. That nigga broke him up. Bitch, I'm sick of going back and forth. This ain't no figure fuck. Man, these niggas. What the fuck is up, gang? Bruh. Alright. So, Fortnite is kind of like my favorite battle royale. But I'm not saying I'm not like a hardcore ass Fortnite player or anything like that. I've been playing it for like since it came out. Back like way back when fucking Save the World was actually cool. Does that shit even still exist anymore? I just thought about it. But anyway, fucking. So I was just thinking to myself earlier today. I'm like, all right, I seen a little commercial for a YouTube video of the new season and shit. So in my head, I'm just like, how the fuck did we get here? Like, what the like? If you think about Fortnite, all right. Back when we was playing, well, I'm not gonna say we, cause I'm pretty sure some people who watch this shit probably just started playing Fortnite or whatever. But back when I was playing Fortnite, right? You know, the shit was simple. It was just you run around, you build one wall, shoot around that one wall. Now, nigga, you shoot at one person, they built the fucking Eiffel Tower within like 2.2 seconds. Less than that, actually, if they sweat. And most of these niggas be sweats. But, alright, fuck it. What I'm really saying is, like, just think back to, like, the Fortnite story mode and shit. Like, it's, like, we had a Marvel season. Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? I remember, like, all these characters was just coming into the game. Because, all right, I'm not going to lie. After the season with the superheroes, I'm thinking that's when I stopped playing Fortnite consistently. So, before the superheroes came, that's when I actually gave a fuck about the Fortnite storyline and shit. But after that season where Drift and the superheroes and all that shit, I don't even think they was in the same season. But any fucking way. After the season with the superhero, no, whichever one came later, the superheroes or Drift or if they're in the same season, that's when I stopped playing Fortnite consistently. I stopped. So I didn't really give a fuck about the storyline. I wasn't really with the challenges and shit. So everything like I used to like come back, you know, every once in a while, me and my homeboys just to play the game. We'll probably play the game for like a couple of days or some shit, you know, just to get the feel for it. Then we'll disappear off that game again, start playing some other shit like COD or Rainbow Six or some shit, Minecraft, some shit like that. But like every time I go back to play the game, it's always some new shit. Like I left the first time, whole fucking map is covered in snow. All right, I left again, motherfucking Iron Man is in the game. And it's a whole Marvel season. I come back, I leave again. It's motherfucking aliens every goddamn where. Like, how did all this happen from when I got off? When I stopped paying attention to the Fortnite storyline, the motherfucking cube had just came. Like, so I'm thinking like, how the fuck does all this shit, like now we got the motherfucking Rock in the game, nigga. I go to a YouTube video, bruh. All I see is the Rock in a Fortnite character, bruh. Just I'm like, nigga, I don't think I really smell what the fuck the Rock is cooking up in fucking Fortnite. Then we play the Fortnite shit. This nigga, the Rock, is a main character. Me and my niggas, I don't know if did I post that video? I think Mike posted on his channel. But, yeah, we run up on this nigga, the Rock, in the game. We start shooting at this nigga. This nigga start throwing boulders and shit. I'm like, bruh, what the fuck? I'm thinking that's the fucking, I'm thinking the Rock character is the motherfucking visitor that came from when I was playing Fortnite. Alright, the visitor was the special character. I think he was the special character that started doing you. It was like some challenge or something. Either he was that special character, cause I know the robot nigga was the special character at one point too. Nigga with the shit who can change this. I don't know. Nah, I actually think it was the visitor. I think he was the one who cause he could change his face and shit to like different shapes and shit. Yeah, so I'm thinking the Rock character is the visitor unmasked. The Rock flipped down his mask. This nigga got a whole new mask on. We get in the game. It's a whole fucking sanction of these niggas that look like the visitor. So I'm trying to see where the fuck does the shit with the visitor from all the way in chapter 1. How the fuck does this shit make it all the way here? And the visitor wasn't even like a character that niggas really gave a fuck about. He was just a fucking skin. Really. But, alright, so, you know, I was curious. I went on YouTube. I seen a fucking video that was like the Complete Fortnite Storyline, some shit explained. So, niggas, we about to watch this shit together. Cause I want y'all to see my reaction to this shit. Cause I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I already know I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is going on with this shit? But fucking, we about to fucking get in this shit, alright, Genghis? And what's the call? The YouTuber name is fucking. Hold on, I just showed on here. Just like, yes, sir. All right, the user's name is Top 5 Gaming, and this is his entire Fortnite storyline explained. You see, I typed that shit in right there. Fortnite Complete Storyline. I spelled chapter wrong, so I'm gonna fix this. Cause I wanted to see it from chapter 1 all the way up. So I guess this video, I didn't watch it yet, but I read like the fucking comments and shit. So people was talking about what happened and shit. So yeah, we about to fucking watch this shit, alright, gang?
The storyline of Fortnite for years has been incredibly complicated to understand, but we have finally gotten our clearest timeline of the storyline than ever before. And to be clear, this isn't just a recap for Chapter 3, this is everything you need to know in a single video, whether it's your first time ever seeing the storyline or if you've been a diehard fan. Welcome to the entire Fortnite Chapter 2 storyline explained. Now there's a few things you have to know first before this story begins, and those are the basic core points to the world of Fortnite. When Chapter 1 first began, this island seemed like a normal sandbox video game map that was for a while until things just seem out of place. Random bunkers would appear out of nowhere with no explanation. The island was always attacked by the most random things like a cube or a giant lizard. We knew something was wrong with this place, but we just couldn't figure out what. And then eventually everything was revealed. You might be familiar with the Big Bang. This was the event that created everything we know. And in the Fortnite storyline, the Big Bang was caused by an energy known as the 0 point. It's essentially God.
Did I come back and see
so
that
with an energy as powerful as this one, it attracts a lot of attention. And so for billions of years, the 0 point has had to protect itself. And as a permanent solution, it created an island with a deadly storm on it. In a universe full of unlimited realities, this is Reality Zero, the Fortnite Island. And so fast forward billions of years, and an organization known as the Imagined Order has taken over the island and gained control of the 0 point. They build a headquarters called the Bridge underneath the island and add impenetrable bunkers for easy access to the surface. For thousands of years, the Imagined Order learns more and more about the 0 point and uses its energy to create something called the Loop. Because the 0 point created every single reality in existence, the IO uses it as a portal, and they just kidnap people from whatever reality they want.
So that explains why the fuck all these random
people to the island and trap them in this loop, which erases their memories, stops them from speaking, and forces them to fight each other over and over again for eternity. This is what creates Battle Royale. But there is one catch. If someone leaves the loop, it creates a clone of them and traps them in the loop instead, and that is called a snapshot. And so now you know the basics of how the Fortnite Island works. It is time to delve into the mind-bending story that Chapter 2 has revealed, where everything began to click at the end of Chapter 1. Over the years, the 0 point attracted many things to the island, but eventually it became too unstable and looked like it was on the verge of imploding. Luckily, there was a group of people who were brave enough to save it. This was the Seven, a mysterious group who are dedicated to protecting reality. You see, the Imagined Order don't know enough about the 0 point to contain it, so they send their field agent John Jones to manipulate the Seven into doing it for them.
No way, this is a fucking ad.
What is Outplay? You play and it records. You can choose exactly what you want it to record, whether it be kills, assists, deaths, wins. Just the action, which saves you a lot of recording space, and it's all neat.
What the 7 of us are attempting is very risky. I suspect they are not the only ones watching, but it must be done or we lose the bridge forever. When I hear this again, will it help me remember? Or once looped, will I be just as muted as the others? No matter, it seems the lengthy precautions worked. What I didn't factor was that the only way to trigger the device was from within the loop itself. Thus this hasty and primitive recording. And why now I find myself looped. The 0 point must be contained once more. If they are correct, it will be the end.
And so it was the end. The entire Chapter 1 island was sucked into the 0 point and spat back out as a new refurbished island. Every single thing that was there in Season X is reorganized into a fresh new place to keep the 0 point and the bridge protected once more. The Seven's job was complete. And here we are, Fortnite Chapter 2. We don't have much time to admire the island because the Imagined Order have already sent a scout team named Ego to search for any problems. Nothing noteworthy happens until the end of Season 1 though, when a mysterious man named Midas appeared on the island. Midas is an ex-employee of the Imagined Order who decided that the loop and the whole kidnapping people to murder each other idea was, pretty unethical. So he recruits loopers from all around and turns them into secret agents who give him total surveillance
Nigga, that's Big Peely, nigga. So this how he came. That's my nigga. That's my nigga. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. Nigga. I ain't know how the fuck I got that Peely skin. All I know is when I stopped playing Fortnite, my little brother used to play it on my account from his Xbox. Because I was playing PlayStation. He used to play it from his Xbox. And like, when I come back to playing that shit, I of course kicked him out the account. I got him his own account so he can fucking spend money on his own shit. I was loving the free skins though, I ain't gonna lie. But that's besides the point. But when I come back, right, I got all these skins. I see a motherfucking banana. And I got the little Meowscus. I got that nigga too, that buff ass kitty cat. But I see that motherfucking banana nigga. I'm like, bruh, he's obviously gonna be he one of my favorites already. But shit, fuck it, let's get back in the video.
Of the island. He gets to work on a device that will push back the storm, destroy the loop, and free everyone trapped on the island. But while he's working on this device though, the Imagined Order don't exactly sit there and take it lightly.
I'm mad they took that out
between
the game.
Two teams named Ghost and Shadow to try and cause chaos and stop Midas from working on his device. But unfortunately, their plan fails, and Midas eventually completes the device. After months of waiting, he activates it and works just like a makeshift 0 point, eventually pushing back the storm, breaking the loop. And for a moment, everything is peaceful. He did it. While Midas worked hard, he didn't account for one thing, that the storm wasn't made by the Imagined Order. It's actually alive, and well, it doesn't exactly go down without a fight.
See, this must be one of them in-game events that I fucking missed. The only in-game event I seen was fucking Marshmallow and Travis Scott and I think the shit with the cube with Loot Lake.
Wait. Can you hear me?
And with the storm flooding the entire island and the loop being back under control, the Imagined Order can finally continue with their plan. But first, they have to deal with something.
Alright, so this how the motherfucking ocean season started with fucking Aquaman.
Now that's out of the way, their plan is in motion. Sure, they have control of the 0 point, but the IO don't know enough about it to have true power over the universe. That's their end goal. But before they can get to that, a new threat presents themselves. You see, when the 0 point created the Chapter 2 island, it used a lot of energy, and that energy attracted a cosmic being known as Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds. He has been making his way to the island for months, giving Thor enough time to summon the Avengers. So he brings them to the island and asks for their help, and Tony Stark realizes that if Galactus gets his hands on the 0 point, it could destroy reality as we know it. So Stark builds rift beacons around the map over the course of the next few weeks, and uses them to bring his Stark Industries lab onto the island. He then uses Stark Industries to work on his plan to defeat Galactus. He gathers battle buses and upgrades them, fitting them with explosives, cannons, and lasers. So eventually, after months of preparation, we look up to the sky and see Galactus. He is no longer just a shining star in the distance. He is coming fast, and by the time Tony Stark finishes his plan, Galactus is already here.
Oh, fuck no. Damn! That's a big ass nigga.
Hey, welcome to the party. You look like someone who needs a jetpack. There you go. We gotta stop Galactus from eating the 0 point. You are free, right?
And with Galactus minutes away from devouring reality, Tony Stark finally explains what his plan actually is to us.
If that wasn't
I hacked your time loop thingy, made a few billion battle bus clones, and then turned them all into very powerful bombs. We need to get Galactus to eat as many buses as possible before he's done with the 0 point. If everything goes right, it'll open a portal and send him back where he came from.
The Avengers help us throughout the event as we fight Galactus and his army of drones until eventually...
Looks like he's taking the bait. Let's get you out of there. If this works, it's return to sender for all of us. And if it doesn't work, well, we had some laughs, right? Either way, you did good.
Boy, that shit look trash as hell. Oh no.
This is not possible.
Tony Stark, that nigga.
Thank you, bus driver.
It is done. Galactus is defeated, the Avengers have returned home, the island is back to normal, and we are back on track. But there's just one problem. Galactus, in trying to eat the 0 point, has exposed it.
Oh my god. This shit too much. I'm already fucking
still here.
confused.
Yeah, but the 0 point is exposed. You have to go in.
Oh, come on. Last thing we need is another snapshot of me inside the loop.
No, the last thing we need
Nigga
is
Jones
no one
got an ass
escaping the loop.
snapshot.
You need to get in there and fix it.
Understood, ma'am. I'm on it.
And do not draw the attention of the 7.
I got you.
Jones, are you there?
Right. I just need to stabilize the 0 point and reseal the bridge, but not let anyone escape. Easy, right? Okay. Locate the best hunters across all realities.
Signatures triangulated and defined. Execute.
This better work.
Bruh.
Hey, it's us. Open up. No. Guys, what are you doing?
The fuck is this?
Are you okay? Tap if you can hear us. One for yes, two for
Fuck these YouTube ads. I'm not buying YouTube Premium. They can give it to me though. YouTube, if you're watching this, sponsor it.
In
nigga.
Season 5, an Agent Jones is instructed to use the 0 point to travel between realities and recruit the best hunters in the universe to stop any loopers from escaping. Now he uses his trusty portal gun to protect him from being stuck in the loop and begins his search for hunters. On Jump 15, he recruits Daryl and Michonne from The Walking Dead. On Jump 31, he's gotten Ryu and Chun-Li from Street Fighter, and then when Jump 42 comes around, he recruits one of the last hunters, Ripley and the Xenomorph from Alien. Jones jumps between realities 88 times while doing his job, leaving reality logs for the Imagined Order each time he finds a new hunter. But while he has been distracted doing this, the 0 point has gotten more and more unstable. Eventually, the 0 point is almost on the verge of imploding once again. And to his shock, the Imagined Order haven't been doing anything while he's been out on the field working his butt off, so understandably, he gets pretty upset.
Reality log doesn't even matter. What's the point of recording these logs if you're not gonna listen? We've lost control of the 0 point. Do you get what that means? You must not, because you're doing nothing. I've dedicated my life to the Order. I've given everything. And for what? To just sit back and watch reality end? That's not who we are.
Talk to him, nigga.
At least it's not who I am. Not anymore.
Yeah, nigga.
And just like that, he abandons the
So
Imagined
Jonesy the
Order,
main
turning his
character,
back on the organization he's dedicated his life's work to. He decides to take matters into his own hands. The 0 point is on the verge of completely exploding, and this time the 7 isn't there for the Imagined Order to manipulate, so instead, John Jones takes matters into his own hands.
This is Agent Jones requesting access to restricted file 8752. This is Agent Jones requesting access to restricted file 8752. Oh, really? No time to stabilize reality, but plenty of time to revoke my credentials. This is Agent Jones requesting access to all materials related to the 7.
Access denied, bitch.
Oh, great! Okay, if you're not gonna give me what I need, I'm just gonna have to take it.
Except the 7 are pretty angry at him for manipulating them during the end event. He has it all figured out though, so he turns his back on the IO for good and rushes to save the 0 point in time. He has to get through all of the hunters he spent months recruiting, but luckily he gets there just in time. Now the 7 can't get to the island without help, so Jones sets his portal gun to their location and throws it into the 0 point. The 7 receive his portal gun and use it to transport themselves to the island. The meteor crashes down, the door opens, and the Foundation is revealed.
Look, I know you have no reason to trust me, but... Oh, no. Hang on! Let's talk! Let's talk! Geno! I can get you to Geno.
And the sisters?
I can get you all of them.
See, I don't know who the fuck
But
these
I
niggas
need
is.
your help to fix that.
You have a deal. For now.
Oh, that's very reassuring.
Time to get to work.
I don't even know these niggas. I just know he looked like the visitor.
As you saw, Jones struck a deal with the Foundation, promising him access to Gino, the leader of the Imagined Order, and the Sisters, his trusted employees. We have yet to meet any of them, and we'll learn more about them in Chapter 3. But as per the deal, the Foundation helps John Jones stop the Zero Point from imploding. As it breaks down and is on the brink of tearing itself apart, the Zero Point brings all kinds of realities to the island, and it begins blooming like a flower. Jones says that he spent his whole life studying the Zero Point, but this is the first time he's really seen the true energy at the center of the shell. But unfortunately, the Foundation can't continue the blooming process. It is about to explode. There's only one option left. To contain the explosion, the Foundation seals himself and the Zero Point into a tower of stone. But for this to work, John Jones has to overload his portal device to truly contain it inside of the spire. And of course, with no portal gun, Jones will be trapped in the loop. But it's a sacrifice he is willing to make. The Foundation then seals himself in the Zero Point, and we are thrown into Season 6. The island becomes primal while the Zero Point heals. John Jones is missing, and the Imagined Order have set up guards all around the spire to protect the Zero Point. With all of our main characters taking a break from things, we're introduced to someone new, Raz. Raz is an explorer obsessed with learning the secrets of the spire. He claims it called to him in his dreams as a kid, so he does everything he can to learn about it. He begins by investigating the crystals of the spire after hearing the final reality log left by John Jones warning people to listen to the crystal song. Once you gather supplies and pickaxe the crystals for Raz, you hear a high-tech hum coming from them. Sure sounds like the Foundation is trying to communicate from within the spire. So he tries again. This time Raz constructs a device that can translate the hums from the crystal, and this is the message that gets decoded.
Hey you! Me. Yeah, you!
I might, if I'm gonna start doing reaction videos, I might as well just buy you premium, right? Psych, fuck you.
So you get sent on a quest to talk to as many snapshots of Agent Jones that you could find, trying to get some kind of answer to all of this. Of course, most of the snapshots have no memory of anything and just can't help you. But then we come to Jonesy the First, a snapshot who knows a lot more than he lets on. After we defeat him in a duel, he reveals that the Spire and the Zero Point inside of it can give someone a lot of power but exploit their every weakness. He warns us not to let someone powerful be corrupted by the Spire, otherwise Jones won't stand a chance of escaping. And so now we have to rush back before the Spire attracts attention from the, and that's when he's cut off. When we head back to Raz, we're already too late. Raz has been fully corrupted by an artifact he found at the Spire. He becomes Glyph Master Raz, and then uses a shard of cube energy to fight us. After a long and hard battle, we defeat him and take the artifact away from him. But meanwhile on the island, Batman has been trapped in the loop after he was investigating a rift in Gotham City. Since getting trapped, he has built a shack, written down notes for himself every time his memory gets reset, and prepared an escape plan. With the help from Catwoman, Batman escapes the loop by standing in the center of the storm and being the only person left alive. He then comes across a gang of island dwellers who all escape the loop on their own. They form an alliance and decide to get off the island for good. But if you go too far out from the island, you literally just evaporate, so they can't do that. They need to get back to their own reality the same way they came here, through the Zero Point. So Batman is actually able to unlock one of the bunkers on the island, and they make their way into the Imagined Order headquarters. After fighting golems, IO guards, and other enemies, the gang finally get to the bridge. Batman's detective skills are put to the test as he figures out how to use the IO's technology to open a portal. He realizes that the Zero Point connects every single reality in the universe to each other, and that it's flicking through millions of realities every second. He needs to make it open a portal to a specific reality, not millions at once. He finally figures it out and helps some of the gang get back home, but not before he is betrayed by one of them. Deathstroke reveals he has been working for the Imagined Order this entire time. He returns to Gotham City, and Batman, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn go after him. And so this journey ends with a big reveal. Lex Luthor and the Batman Who Laughs talking to a mysterious figure from the Imagined Order and making a deal with her. And now we are back on the island. The unwanted attention that Jonesy the First was talking about, well, it's coming. UFOs begin showing up around the island and abducting loopers. We end up investigating things like crop circles, alien symbols appearing on TVs and farms, and a lot more. But loopers begin to pick up on this. A conspiracy theorist named Mari creates a radio show where she warns the people of the island about the incoming threat of aliens. But her broadcast doesn't last long, as she is contacted by the same person we saw in Gotham City. She orders us to destroy the TVs with alien symbols on it and shuts down Mari's broadcast. But just before Mari ends, she reveals that the name of the invaders is The Last Reality. But we don't even have time to process this, because before we know it, the invasion has begun.
Damn.
The last reality has arrived, and the Imagined Order
Alright.
are not happy about it. They sent Dr. Sloan, who was Agent Jones's boss and is a highly professional leader of the IO, to the island to deal with the problem. Now that Jones is gone, she has to do it herself. She sets up IO bases all over the island and builds her own headquarters underneath Corny Crops. And it's here they study the mothership floating above the island. Eventually, the mothership sends down UFOs and an alien species known as the Chimera to annihilate everyone on the island. However, it turns out the Chimera end up being a pretty easy force to fight off. The only true threat is the huge mothership in the sky, and Sloan has got to do something about it. While they're coming up with a plan, the mothership is already hard at work. It moves around the island, slowly abducting entire locations. It takes Slurpy Swamp and Coral Castle and sends the Chimera to completely overrun Holly Hedges. Meanwhile, the last reality scans our minds in an attempt to figure out where the 0 point is and how it exactly works. But Sloan is one step ahead of them. She realizes that there's a mole in the Imagined Order, leaking information to the aliens. Eventually, she figures out that it is actually Maven leaking info, but instead of punishing her, Sloan gives her fake information instead. Maven eventually snitches to the aliens, telling them that the IO's secret base of operations is at Corny Crops. And yes, it is, but at this point, Sloan has built a huge bomb into the complex. Of course, the aliens abduct the POI just as planned, and eventually, Operation Skyfire is a go. It was time to put an end to this invasion once and for all. Sloan gathers a team of loopers, aka us, to get abducted onto the mothership and make sure everything goes smoothly. Once we're abducted, we break out of prison and make our way through the mothership, dodging guards and spotting many Easter eggs along the way. Eventually, we make our way to the abduction chamber, where we can see that Corny complex and all of the bombs attached to it is primed and ready to go. The plan is going pretty smoothly, and Sloan arms the bombs. But the last reality have a trick or two up their sleeve.
The signal was cut off.
No.
I'll figure this out. Just stay alive.
She basically just left all the players up for dead. Nigga, that's the
It was
cube.
gone
That's
for
game.
good. Last time it nearly destroyed the island.
He's dead. Bounce off the shit.
Okay, we need to hit this thing hard and fast.
Yeah, not good. So we fend off this cube and shut it down, then get back to arming the bombs. We're successful, and with 2 minutes left until detonation, Sloan gives us some pretty bad news.
You played your part. Now I have to play mine. We are fighting a war in which we are hopelessly outgunned. I won't bring you home.
She betrayed us and leaves us to die on the mothership. But we weren't giving up anytime soon. We go to the dying cube and we use our collective power to revive it, turning it blue. But then the elevator begins to rise, taking us higher and higher into the mothership. And this is where the grand reveal sets in. The aliens didn't bring back the cube from Chapter 1. There are thousands of cubes out there. They are the last reality.
It's
the
multiple
aliens are just an
Kevins!
enslaved army. But before we even have time to register this, Sloan's bombs detonate. The mothership is blown to pieces, and we are falling down towards the island, preparing for the worst. We're hit by falling debris, and everything cuts to black.
Grammarly helps make your writing clear.
God
and concise,
damn it,
no matter
man!
Where you are, compose a.
Talk to me. Shooting that little ass pistol. Damn, she got her ass flattened. Alright, them the Halloween niggas.
With all of these cubes crashed onto the island, it is an absolute disaster. The last reality may have lost their mothership, but they are still our most dangerous opponent yet. And among all of these cubes, there is one golden cube controlled by the Cube Queen. She has revealed herself, saying that she will stop at nothing until we are all completely wiped out. We are going to be just like every other reality she has destroyed and enslaved. Except if the Fortnite Island is destroyed, that is a gigantic problem. Because if the 0 point is destroyed, so is everything else. Reality itself will be totally annihilated. So the Queen finally begins her plan. She takes her golden cube and makes her way to each of the stranded cubes around the island, awakening them one by one. She then uses her energy to clone them, producing hundreds of baby-sized cubes. Eventually, they all move towards the center of the island, directly above the 0 point. With all of her cubes in the right position, she emerges from hers and reveals her true form. She then seals herself inside of a corruption bubble while the cubes merge together to create a huge town. And eventually, this town becomes a pyramid, with the golden cube pointing directly into the sky and also directly downwards towards the bridge. The Cube Queen not only wants to destroy the island using her cube monsters, but this is just the beginning of her evil plan. She wants to go further. Instead of just destroying our reality, the Cube Queen wants to destroy every reality that has ever existed. And there's only one way for her to do that, with the 0 point. The fact that the 0 point is the key to every single reality out there. She just needs control of it, and she can use that power to destroy every single thing that has ever lived, leaving her and her minions as the only thing left standing. And that would complete her plan and truly make them the last reality. In the meantime, Dr. Sloan is gathering alien devices from abductor crash sites and taking them to an emergency IO bunker to study them. But over on the other side of the island, the blue cube lays dormant, ignoring all of the Cube Queen's demands and sitting still, waiting to be activated. And while Sloan and the Queen prepare their plans, a familiar face finally returns. The Foundation, after months of being in a coma underwater, has awoken. But he isn't on the same island. He wakes up in Gotham City and runs into Batman, who attempts to interrogate him. Eventually, they stop fighting when the Foundation explains he has sworn enemies with the Imagined Order. He reveals that he and the Seven want to take down the IO and free the 0 point. The Foundation is currently living his biggest nightmare, as Gino has control of the 0 point and the Imagined Order are finally beginning to learn its secrets and gain true power over the universe. Batman eventually agrees to help the Foundation get back to the island. We also learn a few things from this encounter, like how the Seven all wear their iconic suits, as it is airtight and protects them from the effects of the loop. Suddenly, the Foundation gets dragged through a rift by the Batman Who Laughs, who's posing as the real Batman to lure him to the island. They fight, and the Foundation's visor gets cracked, leaving him vulnerable to the loop. However, he wins the battle and stands in the middle of the storm while being the only one left, the method for escaping the loop. He realizes that he needs to find Jones immediately after spotting just how much has happened since he was thrown from the spire all of those seasons ago. Once he finds Jones, then he can get to Gino, the sisters, and finally take down the evil Imagined Order once and for all. This journey is only just beginning, and it will continue when everything reaches its climax in the Chapter 2 finale. Yes, you are now fully caught up on the entire Fortnite storyline and prepared for Chapter 3. This video has been a long time.
November 2021. Okay, this nigga ain't got. Hold on, cause nigga ain't we on? We're gonna do this one. Skip. Fuck. The fuck is that?
2 minutes.
3 months ago, Fortnite blew everyone's mind and revealed a completely different side to the island. A fresh start that would shape the storyline for years to come. We learn more about the Seven, Imagined Order, and Last Reality in one day than 18 seasons, and things have been escalating ever since. With leaks revealing the upcoming reality war next season between these groups, let's catch you up on what we know so far, and the future reveals a live event that no one would have expected.
What the fuck?
In March of 2018, Fortnite's world would change forever when a gigantic meteor would obliterate Dusty Depot, leaving an enormous crater in the ground. A mysterious agency quickly moves to investigate the crash site, finding rocks that are otherworldly. We didn't know it at the time, but this organization would turn out to be the Imagined Order, an ancient government group that has an unknown power over the island. This moment was about to spark the biggest rivalry that the island has ever seen. Hidden inside of the meteor's remains, a man in a robotic suit breaks out and escapes the IO facility, trashing it on the way. This is the Visitor, who is our first introduction to the Seven, and his escape is the creation of the IO vs. 7 feud. We don't see much of either side until 2019, the Unvaulting event. The Imagined Order have reappeared on the island for the first time in a year using helicopters to scout and then dig up the area around Loot Lake. Their dig site reveals something that has been hiding underneath the island this whole time, a hidden underground vault. The entire community bands together to unlock the secrets of this vault. Everyone had their own theory as to what was lurking inside. But once the locked door opened up, it held something that nobody expected and had major consequences for both the IO and the Seven. Our first introduction to the 0 Point, something far beyond our understanding at this point, but will be the most crucial part of the storyline throughout the next few years.
I remember that.
After numerous attacks, it becomes unstable, which leads us to Season X, where it's on the brink of exploding. With the 0 Point now exposed, not only does it pose a danger to reality itself, but this is where the power struggle really begins. The IO and the Seven both need to control the 0 Point to put their plans into action, but first the Seven has to stabilize it. They unsuspend the meteor from being frozen in time through rifts and then use it to implode the 0 Point, completely resetting reality and taking us into Chapter 2. And so a small scout team drops down onto this new map known as Ego. They're sent by the Imagined Order to get intel on the new island and do reconnaissance on any suspicious activity. Just like there's secret government work in Chapter 1, the IO are still hesitant to fully reveal themselves, and they work in the shadows. But unfortunately for them, a billionaire spy named Midas created a plan in Season 2 to destabilize the loop. We'll touch more about that later in the video, but ultimately his plan backfires and rifts us into the office of Agent Jones, revealing the true extent of the Imagined Order's power. Agent Jones is on the phone to his boss, Dr. Sloan, trying to limit the damage being caused by Midas's device. We only get a glimpse of the IO here and don't see them again until a few seasons later, when their purpose is finally uncovered. With the 0 Point left exposed by Galactus, the Imagined Order has to stop people from escaping the loop, so they sent Agent Jones on a mission. He has to seal the hole left by Galactus and then recruit the galaxy's best hunters to protect it. He opens portals to all the realities using the 0 Point, but unfortunately, he opens too many, causing it to destabilize even more.
You're doing a recap.
Despite the 0 Point clearly being on the verge of exploding once more, Jones realizes that the Imagined Order isn't helping to prevent this. He begs them to save the 0 Point, but they just won't listen. So he takes matters into his own hands, breaking into the IO and stealing restricted files that contain information about the Seven. At this point, he has no choice. He has to put his lifelong rivalry with the Seven aside and turn to them in his hour of need. He strikes a deal with the Foundation, the leader of the Seven. If he helps him contain the 0 Point, Jones will help him find Geno, the head of the Imagined Order. We finally have names. Rather than just the IO versus 7, it looks like it goes even deeper than that. It's not just some ancient rivalry between groups, it may even be a war between Geno and the Foundation. And so the IO versus 7 war escalates rapidly. With Jones gone, Dr. Sloan has to get onto the front line herself. She fights off threats from an unknown alien invasion and uses her spare time to try and locate the traitor Agent.
Just look at this picture, bruh. You got fucking Rick and Morty, you got Superman, you got random ass, you got a hot dog right there. Like, bruh, this is
Jones.
Fortnite, bruh.
While Sloan rushes to stop Jones, the Foundation is also
like,
on a
you
quest
would have
of
never
its
thought this game
During
would
a
be far.
crossover DC comic, the Foundation is taken to Batman's reality, Gotham City, and it's here where he explains the historical feud between the IO and the Seven, claiming that Geno having control of the 0 Point is a nightmare come true. But they have a plan to take down the Imagined Order and free the 0 Point from its grasp. Before they can enact this plan, however, they need Jones, and unfortunately, Sloan has gotten to him first.
Do it.
No, don't do it. Don't.
This isn't personal, Jones. Although I do plan to enjoy it. Would someone see what
Can you submit with the rock is cooking? I ain't gonna lie, this little cutscene is tough when
I have a challenge.
God damn, Mr. Beast, give me some money.
Computer in your house,
please.
your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey. Wait, Mom, before you check.
Impossible. I watched you die.
And so with the Seven's plan in motion, they rush to take control, and this is one of the first times that the Seven has made a move in the reality war. Usually they're defending themselves from the IO's offense, but not this time. The Foundation and Jones turn off the gyro system and flip the island, while the Visitor and the scientists save loopers from the last reality. And so in all the excitement, there is one problem. While the Seven thought they accounted for the last reality in their plan, they didn't realize that caretakers could breathe underwater. So as the entire community watched the destruction of our island, we realized the reality war has now been brought to the flip side. The Imagined Order is no longer fighting from the shadows, and the Seven's plan has failed. It is here the Foundation reveals what's at stake.
You've all fought a good fight, but until we set the 0 point free, we'll be facing threats like the last reality, and worse. There will be no escaping it. That's why I need your help to destroy the Imagined Order. As long as they're exploiting the 0 point, everything is in danger. With your help, we can free ourselves from this place and leave the loop for good. We can all go home.
Tapes left by another member of the Seven, the scientist tells us that they are attempting to reunite the Seven to help prepare for the hard battle to come. The member he's trying to reach is the Paradigm, who many believe to be someone we initially met all the way back in Season 8 by the name of Singularity. This was the same person who controlled the mecha robot against the monster and had a statue in Neo tilted. For whatever reason, the Foundation and Paradigm have some bad blood between them that they have yet to solve, but in order to beat the IO, it is necessary to put the past behind them. The scientist gets loopers to help him with activities that will help us prepare for the war. We have to destroy signal jammers so that the Seven can launch their rockets and gather their wartime supplies from space. Then we have to put down seismometers as earthquake tremors have been happening all around the island. It's upon further investigation that we quickly realize these tremors are not natural. Someone or something is causing them. That's when suddenly the Imagined Order emerges from the surface. They have been digging their way to the flip side of the island, and more drill sites are appearing by the day. The counterattack is beginning. Sloan arrives on the island in her Arctic gear, bringing mole teams with her and scouting the island for ways to prepare their attack. So the scientist tries to hurry. He begs the Paradigm to return and mentions that he's trying to convince the rest of the group to let her back into the Seven. So he gets to work on a second rocket to get more supplies for the upcoming war. The very existence of the Imagined Order on the island is a huge threat to the Seven. They are panicking, and they know the IO's counterattack is going to be quick and brutal if they don't act fast. 7 weeks into the chapter, the ice melts, revealing Tilted Towers, and next to it is the remains of the monster from Chapter 1. The Imagined Order rushed to get there first, sending diggers and construction equipment to the area. Meanwhile, the IO's mole sites are upgraded with new satellite equipment that lets them scan the entire island. They deploy their forces onto the ground, sending robot IO guards to increase their presence and constructing a massive facility inside of a mountain. They call it Covert Cavern, their new base of operations after the bridge was destroyed. This new base is bad news for the Seven. Not only is Sloan and the IO back on the island plotting their next move, but they have constructed a mega fortress. It's not looking good for them right now, so the scientist sends loopers out to steal data cards from the IO, so they can uncover who the IO spies are on the island. Meanwhile, the Imagined Order have sabotaged the Seven supply rockets, and we are tasked with figuring out how by disassembling their tech. A lot is going on in this war for reality, and the buildup is painful. Every move the Seven makes, the Imagined Order makes a stronger one. The chances of the Seven winning this war look slimmer day by day, with their only hope resting on the Paradigm, should she choose to return. And thanks to upcoming challenges, we know exactly what's in store for us in the next few weeks. Soon the scientists will launch the third and final retrieval rocket, bringing back a black box with an encrypted message on it. After decrypting it, we'll learn that the message is from the Paradigm, informing us that she is headed on a long journey back to the island. There's hope after all, but they can't afford to waste any time because the next phase of the Imagined Order's attack has already begun. A drill way bigger than any of the ones we've seen before is about to appear, and it will cause earthquakes that shape the entire map. Cracks will start appearing in the ground, splitting POIs in half, and that's what will ignite Chapter 3, Season 2. With the build up to war, we have earthquakes, drills, espionage, and a lot more going on, but it's all gonna start with the Daily Bugle. Right now, it's simply a crossover POI on the map to celebrate the release of Spider-Man, but as most fans have noticed, it's actually inside a hollow volcano. This isn't an accident. In fact, its placement on the map along with the addition of Sunny Steps means that this is the volcano from Chapter 1, and the Daily Bugle is a ticking time bomb. Fortnite is always changing up its map, but if there's one thing you can guarantee will never stick around, it's a collab POI. The tremors from the drilling may actually end up destroying the Bugle or maybe even triggering a volcanic eruption. But that's just speculation, especially with leaks floating around that we might actually get some kind of Seven workshop here instead. If the Seven were to set up a workshop in the volcano, one could only wonder what they would build. The monster's bones are also going to eventually be fully dug up and will turn into a location called Caddis Cave. This could happen two ways: either the IO will form this cave, or the tremors from the drills will actually cause the dig site to collapse, creating the cave by accident. If the IO gets their hands on Caddis eggs, who knows what kind of experiments they may run. But these tremors are in crucial spots and will cause cracks around the island that threaten not only Tilted Towers, but these Seven's outposts. Meanwhile, the Paradigm is returning, and we have not seen her since she played her part in the Chapter 1 finale all those years ago. When she returns, we should should expect a dramatic change in the playing field. Right now, it feels like the Imagined Order are about to unleash a devastating attack on the Seven, but the Paradigm may just turn things around once and for all. It was her engineering skills that originally brought us the Mecha Team Leader, and once she returns to help the Seven, she'll be up against the IO, and rumor has it, their own monster.
Damn! Look, the guy from WWE! We got Optimus Prime. Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
What is Omen Oasis? Omen Oasis is a virtual room where you can host exclusive watch parties.
I ain't gonna lie.
Las Chromebooks con protección antivirus interna.
What?
Hacer clic con confianza.
Fuck that. I ain't gonna lie, gang. I was watching WWE, but I'm watching the 2020 season. But I ain't gonna lie, Fortnite looking real crazy right now, man. Might need to start playing that bitch hardcore. Now that I know the actual storyline, shit actually looking pretty straight. Not gonna lie. But damn, man. I don't even know what else to say. Catch y'all niggas in the next video. Ah!